Well, we've got tighter credit conditions, China slowdown, manufacturing and contraction, and that old inverted yield curve haunting us. And all of that equals what I'd call recession obsession. Yet despite that, the market is continuing to go up. The S&P was mixed today, but there was definitely enough green in those charts to make some money. Crypto's largely flat, but Solana's having another strong day. This is the Stocks with Josh show. Thanks for the likes and the love. Say hi in the comments for me. Watch out for the scammers. Now, I assume that all of you guys know that those long chat threads from users with two first names like Henry George, they typically read, Miss Lorraine Smith sends me $13,000 every 10 days off of my initial investment. Of course, I hope you guys know those are scams. Never send your money to someone else to invest. I'm never going to ask you guys to DM me or send me your money because you know this page is about you getting educated and becoming the master of your own wealth building journey. On that note, I'm not here to give you guys the next hot play, but I am going to share with you guys what I'm doing with my money and why, and we're going to be talking about some of the top altcoins, as well as some top news stories, and I'm going to give you guys the technical analysis. But let me just briefly start today with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is in an overall uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows in the charts. Bitcoin can easily, though, pull back to 28,500, which would be the top of the 20 MA on the monthly chart. And that could be the tightening of the spring, which could push us up to 32K. Now, those are not hard predictions. I don't know if it's going to pull back to 28.5. My Bitcoin is locked and loaded, and I'm not really intending to take any profits on my long-term Bitcoin, and I'm not in a current Bitcoin swing trade. In Bitcoin news, though, Bitcoin computing power set a record when over 100,000 new miners went online. Now, this is actually an all-time record increase, and what it signals to me is higher miner participation. And it's been speculated that they're using state-of-the-art equipment. This news story is a reminder that Bitcoin mining is not just a free-for-all profit center, but actually a highly competitive space where the miners have got to be replacing the old miners that had poor performance so they could take advantage of the higher mining constraints at typically higher energy costs. And in this environment, only the strongest are going to survive and thrive. To win, you need the fastest machines working on the lowest power supply. For Bitcoin investors, this is actually bullish news because it shows that approximately a new $200 million worth of a capital injection into supporting the infrastructure just came online. It's a reminder that things are getting very competitive as people are getting positioned to take advantage of the next Bitcoin move. There's going to be winners and there's going to be losers, and I recently covered the miners, and I want to do a quick review of that video because it was a little bit complex. If we get a breakout above 31K on Bitcoin, the miners should absolutely get a final push up candle. So if you sold today, you could be selling early. Now, what we would want to see is we'd want to see some wick on the top of that candle to indicate reversal. Potentially, this would move Mara and Riot to the top of their price range right beneath $20, and it would move Hut 8 to right beneath $5. Now, I didn't cover CleanSpark, and I got a ton of requests to do so, so I'm going to quickly give you guys some technical analysis of their price action. If CLSK closes above resistance at $6.60, then it could hit its prime maximum target of $8. That would be an additional 26% move up from its recent low of $2 at the beginning of this year. CleanSpark has been a great investment with an epic near 380% rise. If Bitcoin gets this jump and all four of these stocks hit the price targets that I just gave you, I've got to pull a Jim Cramer and say sell, 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 sell. Those price targets that I just gave you are what I'm calling the near hog level victories. So you need to be careful. I'm not telling you guys to sell early. I'm just letting you know what the extreme technical tops in the charts are for those four miners. All right, quick station break. Check out the link in the top pinned comment for the moomoo investment app. If you guys need better trade tools, we're moving into earnings this Friday, and moomoo has the best earning calendars of any retail trading app in my opinion. Plus, they're giving away free stock in what I call a stock lottery, up to 16 chances to get stock valued at $2,000 each. You can click on the link, check out the details for yourself. It's a limited time offer, and it's only available in the US and Australia. All right, let's get into the alts. First, I want to cover Ethereum. In my last video, when I talked about ETH, I shared that ETH was a 10xer, a 10 bagger, that my price target for ETH for the top of the next bull run was around $8,000, which would be a 10x from the bear winter low of around 800 bucks. Those who were willing to buy when there was blood in the streets, those are the ones who are going to get that full 10x reward. So in my view, my target is a very high $8,000. But if we were to get there, this is what I know for sure is going to happen. Everybody's going to be calling for that $10,000 ETH, and that's where retail gets themselves into the most trouble. They buy late, they don't buy when there's blood in the street, and they sell late. I just picked this random guy on TikTok to make this point. I want you guys to check out this short clip by him.
Carl, what's your price prediction for Ethereum in 2025?
Well, I think Ethereum could do very, very well. I think that Ethereum is, it is one of my biggest holdings, and I'm expecting Ethereum to reach at least $10,000 in the next 3 years. But looking at the Ethereum price history, looking at Bitcoin and the macroeconomics that we're seeing in the world right now, I think Ethereum could easily go 10 times higher than that, which means that $100,000 could be a pretty reasonable target for 2025.
All right, so here's the main point. We're barely out of the crypto winter, and ETH is showing a little bit of strength. It's come up to around $2,000. We're getting predictions already of $100,000 ETH. And right there is why people are going to get wrecked. So today, I want to put price predictions on ETH into perspective. In a recent video, I compared Apple stock's market cap to the total exchange value of 4 of the largest economies in the world, and we saw that every time Apple beat them. So for entertainment and comparison value, if ETH reached Apple stock's market cap, that would make each ETH worth $20,000. And so, guys, it took Apple a long time making phenomenal products, building out an incredible infrastructure to get to a $3 trillion market cap. And so if ETH were to get to a $3 trillion market cap, it would put their price at $20,000. So even the lofty price of $8,000 is what I'd call moon level heights. That's the buy Lambo now target. That's the big picture, long-term view. So I just wanted to plant those seeds right now. Be careful who you listen to. Keep a sober perspective. Keep your eye on the charts. That's the big picture, long-term view. What's the near-term future? Where can ETH go in the next 30 days? Well, to consider that, I want to go back in our chart time machine to look at how ETH performed in the last crypto cycle. We're going to look at the 20 SMA on the monthly chart. Now, this gives us the big picture view over a number of years, looking back at 2018. Now, after the January 2018 peak, when ETH crossed below the 20 SMA, it stayed there for the next 2 years, or more specifically, 600 days. ETH only took off after the Bitcoin halving event. Now, that is no guarantee of what performance is going to be tomorrow, but we want to definitely consider that even though history does not repeat itself, as Albert Einstein says, sometimes it rhymes. If that is the case, then the $2,000 range top that we're currently in may be the local top for ETH for quite a while. As I've been saying on the alts, we're in the wonderful stage of accumulation. This is not the alt season. This is a time frame that when alts will largely remain range bound in a tight price compression stage where you can do weekly buys in anticipation of the markup phase. And on that note, and as a matter of fact, during the long accumulation phase that ETH had between 2018 and 2020 before the halving event, it went all the way back to its lows after touching and failing at the 20 MA, which is actually where we're at right now in the charts. So if that happened again, we could get an $880 ETH between now and April 2024. But that's kind of the bearish view. So let's take a look at the potential bullish case in this moment. One good thing that ETH has going for it that it didn't have in the last cycle, which may be a game changer, was the Shanghai upgrade and the move to proof of stake. This turned ETH into a deflationary asset, and that's huge. In Q2 of 2023, over 500,000 Ether were burned. Since the upgrade, more ETH has been burned than gets minted month over month. So that is definitely a game changer for ETH, and it should be a major factor pushing ETH into its all-time high, possibly my 8K prediction. But we need to respect the cycles and remember that we're not in the markup phase yet, and we may remain range-bound for another 300 days between $2,000 and on the low $1,000. Right now, the highest that I see ETH going would be a retest of 2140 to 2260. That, to me, is the top of the range. And even that might not happen. If you hate what I'm saying and you think I'm dead wrong, Tell me why in the comments. Okay, the second alt that I'm covering today is one that's been on the move, showing signs of life even today, and that's Solana, the comeback kid. This blockchain, it got crushed last year, falling 97% from its all-time highs because of the touch of death from FTX and scam Bankman fraud. That colossal demise in share price put Solana's performance below both Shiba Inu and Dogecoin, which only fell 94% or less. So what that means is that Solana and all of their developers and their success in the NFT space underperformed meme coins, or as some like to call them, crap coins. Solana launched in March of 2020, which was perfect timing to participate in the crypto run-up phase. Its ICO price was around $40 and it shot up to the staggering $260 price per coin. So you can only imagine the panic that the buy and hold investor felt when it fell all the way to $8. If that was you, let me know. If you never sold any of your Solana, I just need to hear from you guys. It's a relatively new blockchain, so we don't have any past performance to track. But let's just look at the areas of historic support and resistance. The chart shows us that where the price is sitting today is an area of historic resistance. We're at resistance at $22. After that, above us, we have another area of strong resistance at $26 and then at $30. Those would also be very, very strong areas of resistance. Remember, resistance is not where you buy. It's not where you buy a stock in crypto. That's where you take profit. You buy on support. Local support for Solana right now is at $16, and if that were to break down, then it would be $13.20. I really have a hard time imagining that Solana would break beneath the $13.20 or beneath the $10, which would also be an area of high support. But all of those are the spots that we could easily return to over the next 300 days of this accumulation phase. And if you're a believer in the future of Solana, on those dark days where it touched those areas of support, you would be a buyer. You'd be buying those targeted areas. Remember, you buy support, you don't buy resistance. So why is Solana on the news right now? What's the good news? What's the bullish case? Well, according to this news story, Solana may have gotten a boost from the prediction of machine learning algorithms, which predicted that for July, the price would move up to $21.28 by July 31st. As of today, we've exceeded that target, which simply could mean that we got there early because that target was released to the public. We also had in the news regarding Solana, macro guru Raoul Pal outlines dream scenario of Solana, unveils massive price target for Ethereum rival. He basically said that Solana could follow suit to Ethereum's past performance and see a massive 47x price increase from its $8 low, which even from today's price would mean that it would have a 20x ahead of it. In this interview, he literally stated that this was a dream scenario. But this was enough to capture investors' imagination and reignite a small buying frenzy over the last 24 hours. In this same interview, he said that he believed that Bitcoin could triple in value from its previous all-time highs at the next run-up. Now you got to remember that my price prediction for Bitcoin is a conservative 80K. So he is a way more bullish guy than me. I've given you guys basic support and resistance, and you know that's how I trade the charts. I'm not a wing and a prayer investor. I'm not a hype man for any crypto or stock project. And I'm sure that if I gave outlandish price predictions, people would love it. But that's simply not what I'm passionate about. What I like is predicting the future with some degree of accuracy by mastering the charts. As I like to say, let the charts show the way. Guys, thanks for hitting the like button and hit that subscribe to not miss out on the next video. So here's the bottom line. I think we're on the verge of getting a final push up on Bitcoin. It could happen anytime between now and the next 30 days. If it doesn't happen in the next 30 days or by the end of this month, I would largely assume that it's not going to happen, that we've hit the top of the range. That's how I would interpret that. But if we do get that push, it's absolutely going to be a big impact on the miners and top altcoins. But then after that, here's the main takeaway that I hope you guys understand. After that, we go back into hibernation phase because the traditional pattern of the charts says that we will have another 200 or 300 day decline in prices of our favorite projects, which we shouldn't lament. We shouldn't be upset about. We should be happy because it opens up the opportunity for us to slowly accumulate. It's always retail that never buys when things are going down. They're too afraid to do that. They only ever want to buy when things are moving up. But you look at the charts so you can get a sense of where they might go, and that's where you do your accumulation. The goal is to make life-changing money in the crypto space, but you're not going to be a participant if you get in late and you don't ever take profits. Well, that's the game plan. Let me know your thoughts in the comments or just simply leave a heart. Peace and blessings, my friends. We'll see you in the next video.